Mark Charfauros' arrest over the weekend has sparked several new complaints that have been lodged with the Guam Police Department. The latest feuding in the force has led some to question just exactly what's going on in the police department.
Captain Mark Charfauros spent the weekend in jail after he was arrested for solicitation to commit assault as a felony. That charge was dropped down to a misdemeanor, and an official misconduct charge was tacked on when Charfauros was magistrated and appeared before a judge this afternoon. The police captain was released on a $2,000 personal recognizance bond. His attorney, Curtis Vandeveld, contends the arrest of his client, the second in a week, is solely a result of the ongoing political infighting in GPD.
These officers acted in violation of law. They simply, because of the internal political squabbles within the department, are using the police power that we have entrusted them with in an improper manner.
Not only does Vandeveld believe his client shouldn't have been arrested, but the defense attorney contends he was shoved by the arresting officer, Troy Anciano, out of the hallway at the Southern Precinct after asking whether the arrest of his client had been cleared by the police chief or the Attorney General's office.
He didn't ask me to return to the public area. He simply put his hands on me and started moving me. He put his hands on me. And I didn't do anything that warranted him touching me. So I did as instructed the entire time. And then afterwards I filed a complaint.
Charfauros' arrest stems from an alleged conversation he had back in November with Officer Bert Carbolito. As we reported, Charfauros was trying to rent a home in Jonia, but in order to get there, he had to access Frank Belahaja's property. Belahaja later informed the police captain that because of a rift in the family over the property he wanted to rent, Charfauros was no longer allowed to trespass. Belahaja filed a complaint after he found Charfauros with DPW workers looking for a public easement, resulting in Charfauros' arrest last week. Officer Carbolito claims that because Charfauros was having trouble accessing the property, the police captain asked him to, quote, go with him to deck a guy in Jonia. Vandeveld contends Carbolito is hardly a credible witness.
I am informed he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. And that was a part of the reason that he was relieved of possessing a firearm for some period of time. And if these events didn't occur and he's asserting that they did, then he's delusional because as far as I understand from Officer Charfauros, he never made any such statements to Officer Carbolito.
The attorney cites Guam Code 77133 that deals with reporting police officer violations, saying if there was actual credible information alleging Charfauros had committed a crime, a report should have been made within 48 hours to the chief of police, and that didn't happen in this case.
Who informed me that he was completely unaware of this arrest, that he was upset because patrol officers are not supposed to be doing follow-up investigations. It's not part of their function or activity. It's internal political squabbling, and it has to stop. They ought to act more dignified. This kind of internal cannibalism of each other is only going to continue.
Vandeveld believes, based on comments posted on the KUAM website in relation to his client's arrest, that there is a faction within the department who have a bigger motive of trying to remove Fred Berdalio as the top brass.
This is just completely irresponsible behavior, and there needs to be a full investigation of who's been involved in it, and the chief needs to take serious disciplinary action, or the police department will continue to run amok with individual officers making their own independent decision about the arrests of other officers.
Now, just a day after Captain Charfauros was arrested, Officer Mercy Greeno and Lieutenant James Santos filed harassment complaints against Captain Paul Suba, alleging they've been embarrassed and humiliated by being named in Suba's whistleblower complaint. Meanwhile, Police Chief Fred Berdalio declined to provide any comments on this latest arrest and string of complaints filed by his rank and file. GPD spokesperson Officer A.J. Belahaja saying the top brass is reviewing the reports and speaking with the Attorney General's office in reference to both criminal and internal investigations. The court today imposed a stay-away order for Captain Charfauros to have no contact with Sergeant M.Q. Uggan, that's Carbolito's former supervisor who allegedly received the information about the alleged solicitation, as well as the arresting officers Troy Anciano and Joseph Borja, as well as Officer Bert Carbolito. While police are not confirming whether any individuals have been placed on administrative leave with pay, Captain Suba tells KUAM he was informed he would be placed on leave along with Officers Carbolito and Anciano. Sabrina and Jason?
Thanks, Mindy, for that report. Captain Suba, meanwhile, says he is in the process of getting a restraining order from those individuals he named in the whistleblower complaint, namely Officer Mercy Greeno, Captain Charfauros, Officer Gino Charfauros, and Lieutenant James Santos. Suba feels he's the one who is being harassed and believes being placed on administrative leave is an attempt by the current GPD management to, quote, essentially gagging officers from reporting crimes.